Christine Persichetti. Dozens of Catholics hit the greens on Thursday. This relaxing game of golf raising money for families in need. The Bishop Joseph Sullivan Memorial Golf Classic helps to support the many programs run by Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens. Current News' Jessica Easthope is standing by at the North Hills Country Club in Manhasset, Long Island to tell us more. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Christine. You know, it's not uncommon to hear "for" shouted on a golf course, but today all you're hearing is "for a good cause." There are more than 100 people out here right now playing and hoping to beat last year's fundraising record, all to support Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens, and thankfully the weather held out. The wind was moving slightly to the left, but just by playing, Brian Lang feels he's doing the right thing. His company, EJ Electric, partnered with Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens to feed those in need during the pandemic. And on Thursday, he was one of the 132 players at the Bishop Joseph Sullivan Memorial Golf Classic who came to drive, putt, and carry on its mission.
People are still hungry, and we're going to partner with Catholic Charities to help remediate that the best we can. And whatever else they need of us, we're on board.
The annual event is named after a former auxiliary bishop of Brooklyn. CEO Monsignor Alfred Lipinto says Bishop Sullivan was responsible for expanding CCBQ's operation. Today, it serves hundreds of thousands.
He knew the people that he could tap to be able to come and do these things, and they're still coming and doing it in memory of him.
Deputy CEO and Chief Financial Officer Father Patrick Keating says fundraising allows CCBQ to spread the message of the gospel. This year, DeSales Media Group, the communications and technology arm of the diocese that operates Currents News, is a sponsor.
Charities relies on benefactors. We rely on a wonderful staff. We rely on volunteers, and it's really the church community.
Last year's event raised $100,000, and Christine, this year, of course, they're looking to beat that.
Wow, Jess, what exactly does the money go toward?
So the money is used for a ton of different programs. Catholic Charities helps the community in so many different ways. There are youth programs, affordable housing for seniors, there are emergency food pantries, and most recently, help and support for the resources that are used for these newly arrived migrants.
And Jess, how has CCBQ been helping the migrants?
Yes, Christine, it's probably shorter to list the ways they haven't been helping because the ways in which they're supporting these newly arrived migrants has very few limitations. They're helping them with clothing, housing, food. You know, for example, there are parishes in the diocese that have become a one-stop shop for these people. They can go to, for example, St. Pius V in Queens, and people are able to meet with caseworkers, get help on their applications to seek asylum, and take job training classes, and this money is used to keep all of that going and more.
Wow, what great work. Thanks, Jess, so much for that report. A Brooklyn summer staple will soon grace the skies of Williamsburg. We are 2 weeks away from the famous Giglio feast, and the Catholics at Our Lady of Mount Carmel Annunciation are already preparing for the iconic lift.
Lift! Come on, come forward! Come on!
On Wednesday night, the Giglio boat soared through the streets. The vessel symbolizes the sacrifice made by San Paolino, the patron saint of Nola, to save women and children who were held captive. It was in his honor of his feast day that parishioners did the early lift following a mass inside Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Parishioners say the 12-day-long feast is a strong show of faith.
Today, when religion and faith is being suppressed, this is a great expression of our faith, to bring it to the streets. We live in a neighborhood where we have people from all over the country and really aren't that faithful. And at least it's a sign of faith. Maybe it gives them something to think about.
For me, most importantly, and for many of us, it's an expression of our faith. This is a unique way for us to express our faith in God.
The Our Lady of Mount Carmel feast is a more than 100-year-old tradition that is mostly known for the 4-story tall Giglio Tower that dances through the streets of Williamsburg. So much fun. And it all kicks off Wednesday, July 5th with a 7 p.m. Mass celebrated by the Bishop of Brooklyn, Robert Brennan. That famous Giglio lift will happen that Sunday, July 9th. There will be a Mass at 11 a.m. and the lift will begin at 1 p.m. This weekend in Washington, a national Celebrate Life rally will happen on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The big demonstration on behalf of the unborn will be held on Saturday, when exactly 1 year before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Thousands are expected to attend the rally, rain or shine. But if you can't make it down to D.C. and would still like to show your support for the unborn, you can watch the rally live online. Just go to nationalcelebratelifeday.org. It'll all kick off at 10:30 a.m. The tablet is marking the anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade with a special pullout section all Catholics need to see. The paper detailing the historic day and giving us an update on what has happened since, the states that have passed significant or near total bans on the procedure, and the places where the fight continues, the parts of our country that have either preserved or expanded abortion rights. To read this important anniversary section, just make sure to pick up a copy of the paper at your local church this weekend. Make sure you don't miss future editions by subscribing and getting them sent straight to your mailbox. You can do that on thetablet.org. Developing news now. Two religious sisters are now one step closer to sainthood. The first, Mother Mary Lang. Pope Francis advanced her cause from servant of God to venerable. And if Mother Lang completes the process, she could be the church's first African-American saint. She founded the country's first African-American religious congregation in Baltimore in 1829. The Oblate Sisters of Providence are still around today, serving in the U.S. and Costa Rica. Pope Francis also advanced the sainthood cause of Sister Lucia dos Santos. She was the oldest child to witness the Fatima apparitions in 1917 and the only one who spoke with the Virgin Mary. The Holy Father already canonized the two other Fatima visionaries who died at the ages of 10 and 11. Sister Lucia lived until the age of 97 and spent the final 50 years of her life in a Carmelite convent in Portugal. Wondering what exactly are the steps to sainthood? Well, it all starts at a diocese level. A bishop is petitioned to look into a person's life, and if they find enough evidence, they will send a formal request to the Vatican. If they're approved, the person is then a servant of God. After collecting enough evidence, the person's case is sent to the Vatican. They will review it, and then it goes to the Pope. And if the Holy Father recognizes a candidate's heroic virtues, as in the cases of Mother Lang and Sister Lucia, they become venerable. The Church then has to approve a miracle attributed to the candidate's intercession before they can be beatified and receive the title of blessed. And finally, to be canonized a saint, another miracle which occurs after beatification is needed. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.